Have you ever looked back on your life and wondered where did all the time go? Why did I do that thing and why didn't I do that thing? And what opportunities could I have tapped into over here whilst I was over there? I certainly have felt that way. But what if it turned out to be the case that all of those things that you regret doing or not doing are actually the most valuable things that you ever could have done? And sadly, most people never see this. So in this video, I'm going to help you realize the gold that is submerged within the dirt that you could call your past. And truth be told, once you find this gold, you're in a perfect position to build something incredibly powerful, be it a brand or a business, all based around your own unique story. I think that one of the biggest things that gets in our way when it comes to realizing the value that lies within the experience that we have or that we have had in the past is that we compare our path to somebody else's path without recognizing it for its own unique value. Because the truth is, all roads can lead to the same place, but each road has its own unique characteristics. And when we're trying to learn something, we learn from people. Yes, there's information, but the way that information is shared is what resonates with us or does not resonate with us. You could look back at some of your stories and be shocked with the lessons that are actually hidden within there. And what's exciting about your lesson is that you found it in your unique way. I did a lot of traveling in my early 20s, and at the time I felt like I wasn't making any progress in my life, and maybe I wasn't, but when I got into the game of creating content and storytelling, I realized that I had a lot of interesting stories and experiences that allowed me to share information in a unique way. And that resulted in creating a YouTube channel and creating videos around the different things that I had been experiencing. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of people actually shared similar challenges, and they found my expression of my experience with those things helpful. And that led to people actually paying me to help them through their own version of the challenge that I went through. And all I was doing really was articulating and expressing and creating videos in the way that I enjoy. And that seemed to attract people that were on a similar wavelength, I suppose. So the question to you is, within all of the hardship or all of the things that maybe you've overlooked in your life, what is the lesson? Because there might be lots of things that surround the lesson. That's the dirt surrounding the gold, I like to say. But if you can hone in on the gold and recognize you're not the only person who experienced that challenge, and you have a beautiful opportunity to express that and to share that with people. And from that, an abundance of opportunities can open up for you. Truly, I could never have anticipated how my life unfolded once I started sharing my stories. And it's fascinating because it has unfolded as it has, where I have a personal brand and a business based off of my own storytelling and creation. And it's funny because I work with people that, in my opinion, have way more interesting stories than I do. And they have a lot more experience and a lot more value to share. Yet when I speak to them, they don't see it themselves. And that's what's so fascinating about the mind, is that we focus on the negative, we focus on the dirt, but we don't hone in on the gold that resides within that. It's really just about identifying the lesson, taking your ego out of it, stop comparing other people to yourself, or yourself to other people rather, and just acknowledge, oh, this is a universal problem that a lot of people face. You know, a lot of people don't know how to start a business. And if you started a business and the first 5 of them failed, and then eventually you arrived on one that worked, there's a lot of gold within all of those failures, because you learned what didn't work in order to find out what did work. And there's so many people that are trying to start their first business endeavor perhaps that could really use your wisdom, because you have been there. And at the time, no doubt it was painful. I recall a lot of my earlier business ventures, I was really struggling and didn't know what wasn't working, didn't know how to make it work, and it was all a shambles. But eventually, after some trial and error over many years and a lot of pain and hardship and wondering what am I doing? Where am I going? Why is nothing working? Is it ever going to work? I realized that was kind of just part of my path. And that's something now that I can share in my unique way. And the beauty is there's someone that can connect with you. And what encourages that connection is the power of relatability and storytelling. I don't know about you, but when I connect with somebody, it's because they're sharing their story, their unique humanness. And that's such a beautiful thing to hear, that somebody struggled and failed for many years. I love Dan Coe because in his videos he expresses, I tried this business, I tried that business, I spent all of this money on blue light glasses and then couldn't sell any of them. And I just think that's so real. I'm so happy to know that someone who I admire was in a position that I was in at a certain point in time. And it encourages me to persist on my path. And you can be that light for somebody else. You can be that little piece of encouragement that gets them over the line, because the truth is, it's only one decision that is going to completely change the trajectory of your life. And it's easy to look at our lives now and our past, and if we're not feeling content in this moment, to have regret. But that's not helping us to move forward. Of course, it's important to recognize the lessons and see what we could have done different and how we could have been different, and take that wisdom and move forward with it, acknowledging that no one really knows what's going on here, but we can do our best, and we can take the information and the data that we get, the feedback from the world, and move forward with that and make better decisions and share and be of service and be of value to the world. And my friend, you have so much to share. You really, really do. And it's just a matter of recognizing it first within yourself. That's the mind. And then acknowledging that what you have is going to be useful to someone else. It won't be useful to everybody. And that's okay. That's natural. But to the right person, it's going to be profoundly impactful. And this is where it gets fun, because it starts off with you expressing yourself in whatever way you decide to do through content, is what most people who watch these videos tend to do. But once you do that, then things start to get really interesting, because people will want to know more. They'll want to speak to you. They might want to hire you. You might find out their specific challenges and then be able to reflect upon yours and then help other people with the challenges that they're going through. And that's incredibly powerful. And it allows us to create these transformational experiences for other people. And that improves their well-being, and it improves yours, because this is fun. Being of service is one of the most nourishing things that I can think of doing. And it's a gift to be able to help other people and to be able to share and work with people and see these transformations happen. So really, I encourage you to have a little look within. Reflect on some of those things. How can you see them differently? Everything that went on. View it through a new lens. Forget about who you are and just observe it. And you'll see the gold. It'll be apparent to you. And then start sharing that. And this is abundance. When we realize the abundance of knowledge, of skill, of experience, of love within ourselves, and then we broadcast that to the world, and then it's reflected back, and it's so high integrity to express and to share, and then to witness other people do the same and transform and express themselves in their highest, most self-actualized state. And that might have got a bit woo-woo for a second, but you can tell this is kind of something I'm passionate about. I've made a resource that helps with identifying the value that you have. It's in the description of this video, and it's completely free, and it's a whole workbook. So if you're unsure of what it is you have within you, I really welcome you to check that out. There's also a free content creation course there which helps you do something similar, but it's more geared toward content creation. So those are the actual mechanisms that I have practiced through my own experience of doing this and creating a business based off of just living my life and the different skills and experiences and knowledge that I've gathered. And if you want an even more detailed breakdown of how to actually do this and transition it into a full-time business, there's a video I've made here, which you can watch next, and that'll show you everything you need to know.